So tonight we are making homemade pasta. So I'm going to start with 28 ounces of all-purpose flour. Now if you're only serving a smaller family of 4, you would use only 14 ounces and you would use 4 eggs. But in this case I'm serving 7 people, so I am doing 28 ounces and 8 eggs. So I've made the dough for our bread. We're going to let that rest for about 60 minutes. And then right here we have roasted red peppers and yellow peppers because that's all we had in the pantry. So I cut that up into a small dice, and then I shredded some cheese, got some minced garlic and some minced shallots. I have my heavy cream, my vodka sauce, and tonight, instead of making everything from scratch, we're going to use Hunt's tomato sauce and just kind of put our own spin on it. So I'm going to be making homemade pasta dough first. So I'm starting with 28 ounces of all-purpose flour. I'm going to start by first adding my flour to the bowl. Then it's very important to make a hole to put your eggs into. So I'm going to pour my eggs right into the middle of that hole, and I'm going to whisk them up a little just to beat them before they go into the kneading process. There you go. It should look like that before you put it into your KitchenAid, and if not, you can also make a mound on your counter and incorporate the eggs into the flour and just knead it hand-wise. So I'm going to put this on, and just like that, let it go until it's formed a perfect ball and it has a little bit of elasticity when you push onto it. So I'm going to coat the bottom of the pan with some olive oil. And I'm going to add the peppers first because they are the biggest, so they're going to take the longest to get them where I want them. And right after that, I'm just going to go ahead and throw in the shallots because they take like 1 to 2 minutes as well. Lastly, you would add the garlic because it only takes about 30 seconds till it's going to be ready for me to add the sauce. I'm going to put it on medium heat for now, just to get that nice little sear on them. And then I'm going to turn it down a little bit for the garlic because garlic can burn really easy. Alright, so now since the shallots turn translucent and I can see through them basically, I'm going to add in the garlic. Garlic only needs about 30 seconds or until you can really smell it, and then you know it's done cooking. And then you can start adding the sauce and the vodka and the heavy cream. So once your garlic is fragrant and you can smell it and everything, you can go ahead and add your sauce. Okay, so now my sauce is simmering, so I'm going to go ahead and add the vodka and give it a good mix. And then I'm going to add my heavy cream, and it's important that you bring it up to a simmer because heavy cream will also thicken your sauce, so you gotta check that and see if it's up to your liking and if you want to add more cream or not. So I'm gonna pour this in, and I'm gonna make sure I crank the heat up a bit just to make sure that I can get it up to a simmer as quickly as possible. Stir it around and it should start getting that nice orange color. Okay, so we're gonna start rolling out the bread. So I just take the bread and I kind of go like so. I'm not a baker, so it's not going to be perfect, but I kind of just form it with my hand. Don't want any bad thickness, so sometimes I do roll it down just a bit to make sure that it's all even, so it'll evenly cook. And I put this onto here, and then I will cover it with a olive oil and balsamic vinegar, little vinaigrette kind of thing, and then I'll put some garlic powder and some Italian seasoning if you have it, or just like oregano, basil, salt, pepper, all that good stuff, and I put that on there. So for the bread, I mixed up some olive oil and balsamic vinegar and just kind of whipped that together and made a little vinaigrette kind of thing. I'm going to add some rosemary, some thyme, some basil, oregano, and some salt. So first, I'm going to go ahead and brush the bread dough with the oil and the balsamic. Then we're going to drizzle some of the rosemary Again, you can just do this with some Italian seasoning, but we actually just ran out, so I'm making my own. I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 400 degrees. So I have the KitchenAid attachment to make pasta. So I'm making a small kind of pappardelle pasta, kind of similar to the fettuccine, but it's a little bit thicker. So this is usually where I stop my dough, and you can see, if you look closely, you can see your hand through the dough. And then you know it's thin, you just want to flour each side. And just make it like that. And here we have it. I have my homemade pappardelle pasta with my homemade vodka sauce and my homemade bread. Mange.